Hello all. I wanted to take this opportunity to, number one, go through the syllabus with you without having to use up class time to do it, and also number two, to kind of give you an idea of one way that you will be learning information this year in my class, which is through this flipped classroom approach where you'll get some of the notes at home so that we can do more activities and things in class. So without further ado, let's talk about the syllabus. Materials are pretty basic. It's the normal paper, pen, pencil. As far as a binder or folder, I don't ever collect your binder or folder, so it's totally up to you as to how you want to organize your papers for class just so that you don't lose them. And then colored pencils, that's primarily for use at home. I have colored pencils in the classroom that we use, but if we don't finish something in class, you'll need access to colored pencils at home to complete the assignment. This is officially our textbook. However, I don't typically use the textbook. I haven't used it in years, and in the past several years that when I've taught honors biology, I would tell students to simply take it home and leave it there. So I'm going to give you the option. I'm going to just plan on not giving out the textbook, but if you really feel strongly about having one, we can get you one. But I'll never assign anything out of it, so it would really just be a resource for you. And with everything we have access to on the internet, it's not really necessary. Plus, it's kind of an older textbook anyway. These are the topics that we'll be covering this year. I'm not going to read through them because you guys can all read them for yourselves. But this gives you an idea of the different content that we'll be covering throughout this year and kind of the breakdown of the units that you can expect. So I hold the right to rearrange topics as needed, but this for now is the order that I plan on teaching them. Grades are broken into three categories. Evidence of learning, which is basically how are you showing me that you're learning the content along the way, and that makes up 35% of your grade. And then the assessments of standards, that's where you actually are going to show me what you've learned. So that will be tests and projects, which makes up 45% of your grade. And then second semester, we will take the biology EOC, which is mandated by the state to be 20% of the grade. And then just to match that first semester, your midterm will count 20% of your grade. The makeup policy is simply the county policy of 10 days to make up the work that you missed when you were absent. It's your responsibility to keep up with that. I would recommend not taking that full 10 days unless you absolutely have to, simply because number one, you're going to forget about it. But number two, we might finish the unit before you complete that assignment, and you've lost the opportunity to learn from that assignment prior to taking the test. So I definitely recommend completing all makeup work prior to taking the test on that unit. Now, the 10-day rule does not apply to long-standing assignments like projects. You have to just turn that in the day you return. This is an honors class, so I really don't like late work. I think you guys need to get, to the point of being responsible and turning your work in on time, just like you would be expected to do in college or in a career. So there is a penalty. After one day, it's a max grade of a 75, and then after that, it's a max grade of a 50. By the time we finish the unit and we've tested it, I will not accept any more late work from that unit because, again, as I said, with the makeup work policy, you really need to have completed it prior to taking the test for it to be beneficial. Test dates are announced at least a week in advance, often much farther in advance than that. If you are absent the day before a test and didn't miss any new material, which is generally the case, we're usually just reviewing, then you do take the test on the test day. But if you miss the day of the test, you have the 10 makeup days to get that test made up. It has to be made up on your own time, either before school, after school, or during lunch. You cannot do it during class. And it's on you to see me to arrange that time. I do not offer retakes. What I do instead is I replace the lowest test grade with the either midterm or final, depending on which semester it is, obviously only if it's higher. But that usually takes care of those random tests that students just performed poorly on because of not studying enough, or you've been sick, or whatever the case may be. My official tutoring times are Tuesdays and Thursdays before and after school, but if you need to see me another day or time, speak with me and I will work with you to try and find a time that works for both of us. I do have fourth period lunch this year, so if that is the same as yours, then possibly we can arrange lunchtime to do that. But that would need to be arranged individually. All information is going to be disseminated through Canvas, including any announcements of upcoming test dates or any particular special announcement that needs to be made. All of that will be done through Canvas. So you might want to make sure that you set your notifications in Canvas so that you receive those announcements.